I want to play this little bit from News Nation.
Of the FBI counter drone unit, Rob D'Amico, who's now a security consultant. Rob, man, a lot has come out and developed since you and I were on air with this breaking news first thing yesterday morning. In New Orleans, you and I were wondering if this guy had acted alone or not. How significant is it that authorities have come out and said they don't believe he was a lone wolf?
Yeah, I think it is significant. I know that the original information that got them looking at that was where ID devices were located in New Orleans. They were looking at the video that had people around those that they thought may have planted those for him. They have supposedly since said those people weren't involved. They interviewed them and they didn't figure that they were involved. But if the subject didn't plant them, then who did? Like, they have to really figure out a timeline. If he was able to plant these devices, go back, get his truck, and then do the deadly run that he did, or was he being helped? So I think they're still keeping that wide aperture open and trying to figure out how those devices got into other places where he may not have been.
Yeah. And we've also learned so much more about this man since yesterday morning. Of course, we know a name. It's shocking the fact that he served in our army from 2007 to 2020. I believe he was deployed to Afghanistan. Where do things go wrong there for someone who was on the front lines for the United States of America to then turning around and doing this to innocent people? How do you become radicalized by ISIS?
Well, I mean, they're very good at it. They take people that want to blame other people, and then they focus them saying that this is the reason you have your problems. And a lot of these groups do that. You look at cults, you look at white supremacy groups. They all want to gather you and whatever problems you're having. And he did start having problems like in the real estate market, losing money, had problems with his family. I think there could be a complex mental health issue. Did the mental health issue come slightly before it, then him get radicalized, or was his mental health issues because he was being radicalized? Because at one point, I think he talked about gathering his family and then murdering his family. That's not a sane, obviously, thought. And then they turned it this way. So how did that develop? They're going to have to really look at all his electronics, all his postings, his social media, if they can get into his phone, get his encrypted apps like Telegram and Discord, and see what he was talking about. And watch that slide from that time he was somewhat normal, where his friends and family say he was, to what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So, as we said, it's so early in this investigation, and many people have opinions, but we can't just afford to have opinions. We have to have facts. And as we can see, and as I see some people talking about in the chat, many of the things that we heard are just not true. So as we move forward in the investigation, the truth will come out, and we'll find out more in regards to this investigation. Professor Mike, your final thoughts.
Bill, I just want to cite to a listener, DCPNW, thumbs up to you. She said, DCPMW said, keep calm and carry on. That comes from Churchill during the darkest days of World War II in the Battle of Britain in 1940. He or she's absolutely right, DCPNW. Keep calm, carry on. You carry on with your life. That's strength. You don't project weakness, you project strength. So that's what we need to do.
Absolutely. Dr. W, your final thoughts.
Certainly. Well, my thoughts, my prayers, my respect and condolences to the victims' families. I agree. Strength and solidarity, very important. I'm hopeful that the answers will come. I'm sure they will in the upcoming days as to who is this individual and what was his real intent and were others involved. But my hope as well is that moving forward in the calendar year that we can have strategies to prevent these mass massacres. And I'm hopeful that with all of the good intent of our local, state, and federal officers and citizens working together, we can prevent this moving forward.
Absolutely.